Okay, so I have here, right in front of me, the Star Wars Force Awakens X-Wing fighters in the Lego piece from Poe's X-Wing fighter in the black and orange, and the Resistance X-Wing fighter in the blue and grey. Now you're probably wondering, in the background you can already see that they're already being built. So what am I doing with two new ones? Well, that's the fun part. What I'm going to do is my own very own custom version of these two X-Wing fighters. That's right, I'm going to mix the black and blue and make a custom version of it and mix the orange and grey together. And I'm about to start the build right now. So I'm going to do updates throughout this video, and it's going to look crazy. I hope this works out. I've checked from the last two builds that I've already done that most of the pieces are identical and they're almost exactly the same in every way, only color change. There's a couple little panels here and there that might cause a little bit of an issue, but I'll work around it. So that's what I'm going to do now, my own custom versions of the Lego X-Wing fighters from the Force Awakens. This is going to be crazy. I can't wait to start it, so I'm going to. Okay, first off, we're going to start by opening up the boxes. I'm going to open up the original one that I bought, which is Poe's X-Wing fighter in the black and orange. Okay, so I'm just going to unbox this real quick. Try not to cut myself. Get out all the pieces. So I'm only going to do this one bag at a time. I need that. There we go. Here's the instruction manual, and it also comes with the stickers as well. It's funny, that's loose. They're not normally that loose, but anyway. Okay, so there are all those bags. I'm only going to start with one bag out first. So I'm just going to put these back in. So with this build here, what I'm going to do is have both, I'm going to set them up both at the same time and build them both at the same time. So I'm going to be doing double the work. So that's bag number one from Poe's X-Wing fighter, black and orange. And now we're going to do the Resistance X-Wing fighter in the blue and grey. I'm going to open that up just real quick from this end. Just like that. Again, I'm after one instruction manual and the stickers as well. They come together. And I need bag number one. If you're wondering why I'm taking out all the bags, it's mainly because I'm just checking that they're all the pieces and components are here. Yeah. Okay. We're all good, so I've got bag number one from that. Okay, now comes the hardest part of this build. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have both books open so we can compare the parts and the build at the same time. And I'll be switching pieces for the different colors as I move along. And if there's any pieces I need to adjust, I'll do that as I move along as well. I'm going to get started on this. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it all works out and I don't muck this up. Okay, so we have finished bag number one, and so far, getting into the build, this is just the main part of the cockpit and the back part of the X-Wing itself. So as you can see here, that will be these sections here, and then the front part here is the cockpit itself. first bag in, and we've come across a little differences. First of all, the instruction manuals don't follow exactly the same, which I didn't think they would, but I thought they'd be at least similar enough that we could follow it at the same time. In most cases, we have. What I have found is there are a lot of little pieces here and there that don't match up in the build. However, that is mainly for the main structure itself. So as long as we get to the outside structure and that all stays the same, this build will still continue to go as well as I would hope. There are a couple of slight differences here. So as we have a look, the back, this piece is a lot lower and it only has the 2 holes there. But this piece comes up 1 space higher and it's got the 4 holes, or the 4 connectors. So that's a slight, not a major issue, but I'm hoping that's not going to be a problem further into the build. Bag number 1 had us finish the back here. Bag number 2 will have that part there. And I know for a fact that this one here will stick out slightly more than that one. But that, again, shouldn't affect the overall build because, as I said on the other 2 that I've already done, they look pretty much identical afterwards anyway. So it shouldn't affect it at all. Otherwise, everything else we've been able to kind of switch at the same time. So we've changed these 2 parts, which should have been on that side. The orange would have been on the same side as the blue is. The grey here is where the blue would have been on that side. So everything's slightly changing over pretty well. The bottom seems to be exactly the same. Like I said, we're switching the color parts over, but other than that, we're going good. We haven't run into any major hiccups just yet, and yeah, I'm going to continue going on here. We're going to keep going and hopefully not run into any more mistakes. Okay, so I am about halfway through the builds on the 2 of them. Did run into a couple little issues. So besides them being almost identical on the outside look and the main structure of it, there are a couple little things like here where these are 2 separate pieces and here it's 1 whole piece. Now you wouldn't think that's too much of a problem, but then it doesn't measure up on the inner build, so you can't see it at the moment because it's all covered under here. But a lot of these pieces would have to reach further in, which means there was a lot of manipulating a few pieces here and there and making little adjustments as I went along, especially because we're trading the pieces between the 2. However, it's going good. This is just past or just about the halfway mark, and it's coming together really, really well. The next part is putting the casing on the outside and then the wings attaching it to. So we're about to start bag number 3, and yeah, let's see if we hopefully don't run into any other little issues along the way, but this should be fine. It should be easy, and hopefully it all works out. Okay, so we're up to bag number 4, and that section, bag number 3, went really well and very quick. It was basically just swap over the colors, as you can see here, and it fit in really, really well. It was nice and quick. Didn't run into any troubles at all for that one. Like I said, it was just a basic swap over. So the outside shell is finished. So we've got the top here. I'll just show you real quick. So the top piece is there. Side pieces 1, 2, and the backs. Okay, 1 and 2, like that. And then the back part as well. And there we have it. We've put the shields down as well, the windshields. And yeah, so that's all complete. We're going to keep going on and build the wings now. So the next 2 bags are the wings, which we'll get to straight away. And they're done! Okay, so this is the Force Awakens X-Wing fighters, the orange and black turned into orange and grey, and the blue and grey turned into the black and blue. So these are custom builds. What I did was I bought two of the original X-Wing fighters and swapped out the main colors for them. And I think they turned out pretty well. Little issues here and there. The builds aren't exactly identical. Most of the outsides, like the casing on the outsides here, they're all pretty much identical. Just a few pieces in different places and different shape pieces. The stickers, obviously, they're not going to match, but I think they highlight the rest of the build. I mean, this has black and grey pieces with the blue, so I think it just fits really nice having the grey on the blue and grey on the black there. Same with the black pieces here, so the black with the orange surrounding them. So that all worked out really well. I think I like these better than the original markups and the original copies. I think this is what the original X-Wing should have been, since they're always wearing orange jumpsuits anyway, and this is what should be in the film as the squadron leader. But I thought they turned out pretty well. I'll give you a quick look at the whole thing right round. So if you turn this, that's your landing gear. If you just fold that out like that, put that back in underneath. All right, so I'll give you a quick look through the top. I'll just spin it around. Now I will say, when we were building these, we found a lot of little different things on the inside builds. So, we'll have one piece longer than the other one, or it didn't match with the instructions. The instructions that come with these were 116 pages long each, or somewhere in there for both of them. Turn the control on the top, and it opens up the X-Wings. So there you go. Now here, if you go to the bottom, with this one here, there's one part of the landing gear. The other back part, it's just these two little bricks with the two like nubs on them. There. The only thing is, I really wish they would have given us like black elastics or even grey to hold the wings together at the back. If you can see here, it ruins the rest of the color contrast, and I don't know, it didn't suit, but it works really well on the black and blue one, which I'll show you in a second. This model as well, like with the original, this back part pops out. If I can do it without breaking the whole thing. So the little engine gear thing pops out of the back, and it clips into the back there. Where on the other one, it doesn't. So this is originally the grey and blue turned into the orange and grey, with some black highlights on it. Now I'll show you the black and blue, which I have to say, this is now my favorite one of all of them. This just looks crazy. I mean, custom built. If I was ever lucky enough to be in Star Wars and I got a X-Wing fighter, I was fighting for the Resistance, I'd say, do it like this. This is how I want my X-Wing fighter. So, so I'll just give you a quick look around it. There's the top towards the back. So unlike the other one, this does not come out. That just stays there. I mean, that piece pops off, but the whole back part doesn't come out. And you can tell that the blue fits really nice with the rest of the blue, the grey, and the black here. So that really is really nice. You got the purple jets at the back. These are the shooters here. I'm not going to shoot them because it's pointing directly at me. You got your little torpedoes here on the side, which again, you just click on the side there and they pop out. And underneath, I'll show you underneath here. So as you can still see, there's some parts that are a little bit orange. That's because they didn't have enough pieces in the other colors from the other X-Wing. But they're all concealed underneath. You can't see them. There's only a few little bits here and there that we had to swap over that doesn't match the entire thing. But you know what? I reckon it gives it a little bit more pop to the coloring. But this is great. This is definitely my favorite one. This X-Wing fighter is now, and I think will always be my absolute favorite in the colors, because it's just crazy. it looks pimped out. This is custom built. It's like taking it to they've taken it to a custom shop and got the X-Wing fighter custom made. So that's it. The build themselves, now, between the two of them, I'd say they took, we measured it out to be somewhere in close to 5 to 6 hours. And the biggest reason was not because it took us twice as long to build them, where the other ones only took me about 3.5 hours each. But it was mostly because of the fact that it was a lot of swapping over the parts, making sure you had the right amount of numbers and making sure you had the same exact parts, or figuring out what parts could replace the other ones that you don't have without adding spare parts to this. But I think that's it. Other than that, it was fun to do, but I'm not going to do it again. It was great to do. What I'm going to do now is give you a side-by-side comparison. So this is the original grey one. I just knocked over a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, that's the original grey and turned into the grey and orange. This is the original black one with the orange turned into the black and blue. Like I said, personally, I like these two actually better than these two. But you know what? I think they all turned out really, really well. But there you have it. The custom X-Wing fighters, using the exact pieces from these two to swap them over and build our own custom versions. Grey and orange, black and blue. Thanks for watching. If you liked our videos, just give us a thumbs up. If you want, subscribe. And if you like to, share it as well. And we'll keep doing videos on heaps of stuff. We got heaps more to come. So stick around. Thanks for watching.